Okay, so this is where I'm at. I've now taken the rear suspension off completely. I've primed up the underside. My inner CV boots were completely ripped and torn, so I've taken them off. And under the car here was a strut bar that went from there to there that I've taken off and ordered 2 new ones. And I've done exactly the same on the other side. Removed the strut bar, removed the suspension, cleaned up and just primed it for rust, if any. And same on the other side. The inner CV boot was torn. I've taken that off, ready for my new one to go on. So the ball ache I've just had is my front struts were rebuildable. You undid a gland nut here, and then you put in the new strut, which I'll show you on the rear ones. But for some reason Toyota, and these are not the Bilstein ones or whatever that are non-rebuildable, Toyota welded just here instead of having a gland nut. So I had to go and source some used rebuildable struts. And here they are. There's the welded one, and these are the ones with the gland nut, which screws in like this. So I bought 2 new struts, 2 new used struts I mean, and I'm happy because now I can rebuild them. Then you look at that and you think, well, that's nice and straight. Then you look at this one and you think, well, that looks bent. You see? So now I'm annoyed because I was going to sand these down, prime them. Now I've got to find another strut because that one's bent. But there is one positive to this. The top mounts on my welded struts were rustified. Check that out. The underside's pretty good, but the top's all rustified, and then this is the other one. But the other ones are in much better nick. Just to show you, I've just sort of resprayed them a little bit. Not for any particular neatness, but they were a hell of a lot in better condition. And they'll be going on my new ones. Check out the state of my old rear under engine braces, the struts there. They sort of braced across the engine bay on the underside. One just completely ripped off. The other one wasn't so bad, but still, listen to all the rust inside. Here's my new ones. So the new ones I bought were used again, but they were much better, but they were bright blue. They're thicker bars as well, slightly thicker. So I'm happy with them. Just sanded them down and gave them a prime and just a coat. You're never going to see them, but they'll be a lot nicer. So this bent one, would you try and bend it back? Is it seriously weakened? If I was to slide that back in, screw the nut back on, and then put it in a vise or something and bend it back, would that work? Okay, so this is the old strut with the old oil-filled shock absorber inside with the old gland nut. And here is the new XLG gas-filled shock absorber. This comes with the appropriate new gland nut and a new top nut. And that is the new shock absorber. And that goes inside like so. You put it in. Now this is why I'm worried about the bent one. This one, so we're going to try it, because that is bent. And not nicely bent either. Then you put the new gland nut on and then you screw it down like so. Like that. And then you tighten it up and then it's in there solid. If I was doing this properly, which I'll show you later, I would put oil in there to allow for heat transfer to the strut housing. Now let's see how this new strut goes into the bent one, if it does at all. See, it gets stopped there. Yeah, I knew it would. Bastard. It won't go down all the way. So it's going to be a new strut or bend it. But I don't know if that's wise to do. So that has delayed me by a few days while I wait for a new strut. Just to end this video on, I've got new boot dust covers for the new strut when they go in. My old ones had nothing. Here they are. It didn't even have a bump stop. So these will go on as well. And I got them from MR2 Ben online. So that was good. Well, hopefully on my next video I'll be assembling the struts back together. Because I will have a non-bent one. No one likes a bent one.